Coming up, how the coronavirus is spreading and how it is affecting Furman exchange students and their families.
Also, an update on the health of Furman's favorite white swan.
Furman University follows the tech trend with this newly released podcast.
And finally, the Furman men's basketball team battled the Wofford Terriers in another weekend at the Well. Those stories and more coming up on the Furman Nightly News.
3, 2.
The following program is produced by students in the Department of Communication Studies at Furman University.
I'm Graham Robbins.
And I'm Jamie Gleason. Stay tuned for the Nightly News. Furman University has decided to cancel one of its popular May X Study Away programs. Erica Javi reports.
20 Furman students and their families will be changing their May X travel plans this spring after the university canceled its Study Away program in China. Study Away and International Education Office recently notified students and their families about the decision, citing government travel warnings about the coronavirus. Study Away and International Education Director Nancy Giorgio said the health and safety of students and faculty is the main concern of the university. This week, several departments came together to host a special CLP event to educate students about the impact coronavirus is having around the world. 2 Furman students shared their perspectives on how the coronavirus has affected them, even as they are studying more than 7,000 miles away from their home country of China.
So she was planning to stay here for about 10 days, but meanwhile she was here, all her flights going back to China were canceled, and then she's still in the U.S. visiting friends all over the place.
So I was really worried about my parents. After the announcement of the outbreak, my father told me to buy 195 respirators from U.S. and ship it to China because they cannot find anyone respirators in the pharmacy or in any supermarkets in China.
Administrators said students affected by this year's cancellation will be guaranteed acceptance into next year's May X China program in 2021. This is Erica Hovey reporting for the Nightly News.
15 of those 20 students have decided to participate in other study away programs in the United States, England, Denmark, and South Africa.
Furman has an abundance of wildlife on campus. One in particular has caught the attention of the students. Caroline Cooper reports.
Meet Romeo, the swan that has taken the hearts and caused great concern amongst Furman students across campus.
This topic of the swan was a big conversation on campus, probably starting a few months ago.
So I noticed the swan, a white swan, sort of hanging out in front of the fountain.
Rumors started about the swan when a popular Furman student social media account posted about him, causing a frenzy of theories about his health and well-being to be posted in the comments section.
I've heard a lot of theories about the swan. I've heard that it's dying and that's why it's living in that front fountain now. I've heard that it was being fed bread and so that's why it's sick.
Although there was another post about Romeo later, students still believe that he is in fact sick because he still hasn't moved.
I think that they should probably get a veterinarian to come in and look at the swan because I think it needs help.
I also had several students come in and talk to me and tell me that they were concerned that the swan was injured. So I have a neighbor who is a zoologist, and I called her and asked her if she would come out and take a look at the swan. She was examining the swan. She was approached by one of our Furman groundskeepers, who apparently is tasked with caring for that swan, and she assured my zoologist neighbor that the swan is there by choice because the grass is nicer there and more plentiful for eating, and also that she takes care of that swan and feeds that swan twice a day. The swan is 30 years old or older and is named Romeo, and his partner Juliet still they are together, and Juliet is, I noticed Juliet yesterday actually on the lake, but near the bridge near the Japanese gardens. So the swan is just old, he's healthy, he's well taken care of, and everybody was relieved to know that.
Many Furman students have been worried about the swan's well-being. However, it's safe to say that Romeo the swan is perfectly fine. This has been Caroline Cooper with the Nightly News.
Enjoy listening to podcasts and want to know how the Furman community is impacting the world? Furman launches its very own podcast. Evan Bond reports.
Furman University, a well-known academic institute, wants to highlight ways in which Furman's entrepreneurs have and will continue to play a role in our community. With the rapid increase of interest in podcasts, Furman plans to start up their own Class E podcast.
Within the Furman family, we have so many people who are innovative thinkers and who are entrepreneurial in spirit. And so the goal of the podcast is to tell those stories.
The podcast will include guests such as Furman alumni and professors who have impacted the world with their innovative thinking. Each season of the podcast includes 8 episodes which covers a variety of topics.
Guests vary from design thinking experts. One is a Furman grad, and they are coming to do a certification program in design thinking, to a professor here who has created an app for cancer families to be able to connect to each other. To another professor who uses drones in natural disasters and in his classroom. So it's just highlighting the innovative thinkers that we have in the Furman family and here on campus.
The Class E podcast also includes students by allowing them to develop and edit each production.
Well, my role, me and Rachel, what we do is before podcasts are filmed, we research the guest and come up with questions and kind of like an outline of what the podcast is going to look like, what type of questions Mary's going to ask them. And then we set up, obviously, with microphones, Rodecaster. We edit and audition. And then after the podcast is filmed, we edit the whole thing.
The Class E podcast will launch on March 3rd. This is Evan Bond reporting for the Nightly News.
Looking forward to hearing from those in the Furman community. While some students are preparing for spring break and some time off, our student athletes are hard at work.
The baseball and women's lacrosse teams are hard at work. Here is Will Peterson with our sports segment.
Thanks, Jamie and Graham. The Furman Paladins face their biggest rival, the Wofford Terriers, in a basketball game at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Their season thus far has consisted of 23 wins and 6 losses. Emily Castle reports.
Fans poured into the arena on Saturday morning in preparation for the town's biggest college basketball game of the year. Furman University and Wofford University, both located in upstate South Carolina, have been rivals for decades, but only one school could win this game. Bon Secours is located just 15 minutes from Furman University, and school spirit was not lacking in the arena today. Throughout the game, the Furman University cheer and dance teams both rallied the crowd, which was larger than any crowd the basketball team has seen all year.
There were over 5,000 tickets sold, so that's probably one of the biggest turnouts I've seen since being on the dance team here. And I think it really helps the team and motivates them, and I think they kind of feed off of the students' energy and the support of the fans.
The first half of the game ended disappointingly for the Furman fans, with Wofford in the lead by several points. But things quickly intensified during the second half. Furman scored several baskets, bringing them neck and neck with Wofford. As the game neared an end in its last 30 seconds, Wofford led by only 1 point. It seemed like all hope was lost for the Furman Paladins when sophomore Mike Bothwell scored a 2-pointer with only 12 seconds left on the clock.
I just saw like 2 black jerseys in front of me, and then somehow they had a miscommunication or whatever, and I just freed up. So I was like, okay, this is like the easiest shot ever.
Furman's defense kept the other team from shooting again, and the buzzer finally announced a hard-fought victory for the Paladins.
I kind of teared up, just like from like overwhelmed emotion. It's kind of like crazy because I don't cry ever. The only time I ever cry is because of basketball.
I'm here in the Bon Secours Wellness Arena where Furman has just won this landmark victory. Students will remember this game for years to come. I'm Emily Castle, and this is the Nightly News.
Come support the Furman Paladins in their next basketball game on Wednesday, February 24th when they face off against UNC Greensboro. Furman women's lacrosse extends their early season win streak to 2 with the home win earlier this month. Graham Smith reports.
The Furman women's lacrosse team secured a home field win against Fresno State in their second game of the season. The narrow victory made for an exciting game to watch with a final score of 12-11. The players were just as excited about the big win as those watching and are looking forward to the rest of the season ahead.
The game on Saturday against Fresno I thought went really well. We were down by a couple of goals, but we were able to get the draw controls and defense was able to make the stops. Our freshman goalie, Megan Dehan, made like 13 saves and she got player of the week. So that's really awesome for a freshman goalie. And I thought our attack was able to come together and put the ball in the back of the net.
Senior captain Sydney Hutchinson is looking forward to returning to the field after having been sidelined with an injury for the start of the season.
Having the time off has really given me the opportunity to be there for the team and see different things from the sideline and helping the team in different ways and figuring out a different role as captain rather than being on the field. But I think we've had a good start to the season, coming out with good 2 first wins against Fresno and ECU. So I'm excited to see how this season ends.
The women's lacrosse team faces off against Johns Hopkins at Johns Hopkins this weekend, Saturday, February 29th. This has been Graham Smith reporting for Nightly News.
Furman baseball opened its 2020 season with a bang. A.B. Patton reports.
Want a fun activity to do on the weekends? Come out to Latham Stadium this season as Coach Harker and the baseball team get back into the swing of things.
Our whole thing in this program is ownership, and it's not being a member here. We're thinking you have benefits and thinking you have entitlements. It's taking ownership in this program and leaving it better than the way you found it, and that's from everything from taking care of the locker room and the field to the big things of representing our program, whether you're in the classroom, whether you're in downtown, especially in things that are direct correlation to baseball, in the weight room and, the way we conduct ourselves at practice. But it's got really good leadership, really talented young guys that are able to learn from these seniors that have really bought into the ownership part of this program. And honestly, when you have that type of culture and you have that type of clubhouse to come to, the wins and losses are awesome, and that's what I get paid to do. But it's a team that you want to get in the foxhole with every day, and it makes when we're not perfect on the field, it makes it to where you can live with it because you know the work ethic and the heart's there.
I think we got a really good group of guys this year. We got a really talented freshman class, and they're really starting to come around. We'll look forward to continuing to watch them develop and helping them along as the upperclassmen. I think that we've got a very business-like approach to everything that we do. Everybody's pretty locked in all the time, which I think will really help us throughout the grind of a 56-game schedule. We're the first senior class that have gone all the way through with this current coaching staff, and I think that we just want to embody the ideals that he's kind of laid out for us and do a good job teaching those to the younger guys and really helping to leave our legacy with that aspect.
That was your inside look at Furman baseball. Be on the lookout for their next game, and we hope to see you there. I am A.B. Patton, and this is the Nightly News.
Furman baseball will be back in action this weekend at Latham Stadium. Back to you, Graham and Jamie.
With baseball underway this spring, major league teams have made connections to Furman University students, but not the players.
Unlike the Houston Astros, Furman students have found the right way to research opposing teams. Here's Devin Wynn with our activity segment.
New research from the Furman University Math Department may change the game of baseball forever. Jake Burris reports.
Baseball is the great American pastime, but new research shows that the game we love may be changing in the near future. Furman seniors Andrew Hartley and Ella Morton recently published their 2-year research project, Swing Shift, a mathematical approach to defensive shifting. In their research, they analyzed shifting in baseball. Shifting is the act of moving a position player to a different location on the field than his traditional spot.
So we researched trying to develop a shift in baseball using our own type of mathematical model. So a lot of teams like to, maybe when a left-handed batter is up, move maybe the shortstop or third baseman or both over to the left side of the right side of the infield, closer to first base, because that's where they hit the ball more. And we just wanted to determine a way to use math and figure out which positions are actually optimal.
We took the research to a conference in Boston, and we got to interview and kind of chat with a bunch of analytics departments from a bunch of different major league teams. And what they basically told us when we were there is what we were doing is fairly unique. Every team's going to do the shift a different way, and even if they're like using similar methods, it's still going to be different. So like what we're doing is its own thing, which was pretty cool. Like finding out that what we were doing was kind of new was really interesting.
With these new studies, there could be changes to the way baseball is played with defensive shifts. For the Nightly News, I'm Jake Burris, signing off.
Which study abroad program is tough to do? Let's hear two Furman students who went through those experiences. Nicole Flores reports.
Furman students choose to study abroad, whether that be affiliate or non-affiliate.
And I studied abroad with Furman in Australia. I chose to do a non-affiliated program because I really wanted to do an adventure on my own. I was kind of ready for a break from Furman. So I went to Australia with 14 other Furman students, and it was really cool because I got to live with 3 other Furman girls, and one of them was my best friend, but then 2 of them I wasn't as close with. But I feel like we got a lot closer, and I got a lot closer with the people from Furman that I wasn't as close with. The one thing that I would change is I do wish I made friends with more locals. I did make friends with a local Australian, and she's actually studying abroad at Clemson right now, which is fun. But I do wish that I made more local friends.
Semester at Sea was able to be affiliated with Furman. I think that it would be an absolutely amazing program for anybody to jump on. And the reason I say that is because it's a program and the curriculum is centered around the fact that you get to go to so many different places.
Austin got to go bungee jumping in Victoria Bridge.
We got to go hang gliding, and it definitely was one of my favorite experiences.
So without going on Semester at Sea, I wouldn't have been able to experience all of those different cultures. And it's truly a learning experience that I would push anyone to go do.
This is Nicole Flores signing off with Nightly News.
That's it for activities. Back to you, Graham and Jamie.
Thanks. That's all for this week's Nightly News.
Tune in next week to stay up to date on everything Furman News.